It all started with a letter, a simple, official-looking letter from the HOA, with the words, "Notice of Violation" stamped across the top. I thought, okay, what did I do now? I opened it, expecting the usual reminder about lawn care or something minor. But no, this time they were fining me for my garden. Apparently, I'd planted too many flowers. Yep, too many. They claimed my flower beds violated the community aesthetic and that I needed to remove excessive landscaping to conform to their rules. Excessive landscaping. For flowers. I wasn't having it. This wasn't the first time the HOA had sent me ridiculous complaints. They had once sent me a letter saying my mailbox was too rustic. Another time, they said my front door was too vibrant. But this was the final straw. I immediately called my lawyer, Linda. "I'm being fined for flowers," I told her, hoping she'd have a solution. She laughed. "That's ridiculous. Let's handle this." Linda told me to gather evidence, so I took photos of my garden, showing how vibrant and beautiful it was, with flowers adding color and life to my yard. I even recorded video footage of my peaceful garden with Mr. Whiskers, my cat, lounging in the sun. Next, I filed a formal complaint with the HOA, requesting a hearing. I also reached out to some neighbors who had been fined for ridiculous reasons too. One for a bird bath, another for having a flagpole. Turns out, I wasn't the only one being harassed. The day of the hearing, I showed up with my evidence and Mr. Whiskers in tow. I was ready to fight this ridiculous fine. The HOA president, Mr. Johnson, tried to justify their actions, claiming my garden didn't fit the neighborhood aesthetic. I asked him if he had any concrete rules to back up his claims. Of course, he couldn't produce anything specific. Then I dropped the bombshell. If this fine isn't dropped, I'll be going to the media. I've got evidence of how the HOA uses vague rules to harass homeowners. The room went dead silent. Mr. Johnson tried to backpedal, but I wasn't letting this slide. A few days later, I got the letter. The fine was dropped, and they even issued a formal apology. As for my garden, it stayed exactly the same. In fact, I planted even more flowers just to make a point. The HOA learned the hard way that you can't mess with someone's property, especially when you don't have a leg to stand on.